Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. On the evening of July 23, 2025, the digital world stood still. At precisely 7:07 p.m. Central Standard Time, both Yang and Dilraba Dilmurat quietly posted an identical image to their official social media accounts. There was no trailer, no behind-the-scenes teaser, no media build-up. Just a single photograph, softly lit with the glow of a fading sunset, depicting a distant city skyline. Two silhouettes, one male, one female, stood facing each other in quiet symmetry. Below them, written in brushstroke calligraphy, was one word, Zaijian, meaning again. The caption was equally minimal but deeply evocative. We meet again. In a story that's waited long enough. #new beginnings, #coming soon. It was this silence, this restraint, that ignited something extraordinary. Within minutes, the global internet reacted not with confusion, but with recognition. Longtime fans knew exactly what this meant. It wasn't just a post, it was a signal. A long-awaited moment had arrived, one that many had quietly hoped for but never dared to expect. Within the first hour, trending topics surged across multiple platforms. Weibo collapsed under the weight of fan traffic. TikTok edits exploded with emotional music overlays and heart-wrenching captions. Twitter, now X, was flooded with reaction threads, theories, and translations in every language imaginable. For those who had watched Yang and Dilraba together in You Are My Glory back in 2021, this wasn't just nostalgia. It was vindication, rebirth, and a sense of unfinished destiny coming full circle. What made this announcement so powerful wasn't the marketing or mystery. It was the raw emotional weight of time. 4 years had passed since their last on-screen partnership, but the connection, both real and imagined, had never faded from public consciousness. Their silence over the years, their separate journeys, and their professional distance only heightened the emotional payoff of this reunion. This wasn't a typical celebrity update. It was a quiet, poetic awakening. A moment so subtle, yet so loud in meaning, it broke through the noise of everyday digital life. In that one image and single sentence, they told a story more powerful than words could contain. And in doing so, they reminded the world of something timeless. When two souls share the right kind of energy, even silence can speak volumes. What makes this moment feel so different, so profoundly resonant, is not simply the surprise of the announcement, but the weight of everything that has led to it. This isn't just about two actors posting a coordinated photo. It's about the memories, the emotions, and the quiet loyalty that millions of fans have carried with them for years. For many, Yang and Dilraba were more than just co-stars in a romantic drama. They became symbols of a story that felt real, tender, and quietly unforgettable. Their 2021 collaboration in You Are My Glory was not just a television success. It was a cultural wave. Their chemistry was undeniable, but more importantly, it felt unforced, intimate, and authentic. It wasn't loud or dramatic, it was slow-burning, filled with nuance and rooted in quiet moments. That's what stayed with people. And when the cameras stopped rolling, when the show ended and the actors went their separate ways, that emotional imprint didn't fade. It lingered. It lived in late-night replays, fan-made edits, fictional stories shared online, and whispered hopes that maybe one day they would find their way back to each other, on screen or even beyond. Years passed, and yet the connection remained alive. Not because the industry kept it relevant, but because fans refused to let it go. They carried the memory of that chemistry through birthdays, drama anniversaries, and social media droughts. They created art, wrote stories, formed global communities. And so when this announcement appeared, silent but striking, it didn't just land as a surprise. Felt like a homecoming. There's a unique kind of emotional electricity that builds when something beautiful is left unfinished. And now, as Yang and Dilraba hint at a new beginning, it's not just a continuation of a past story. It's a deeply personal reward for the patience, loyalty, and belief that so many held on to. The joy is real, but so is the ache that preceded it. That's what makes this moment different. It's not driven by hype or manufactured excitement. It's built on time, absence, memory, and hope. This is what happens when art quietly becomes personal. When fiction plants a seed that reality one day chooses to water. And now, after 4 long years, something is blooming again. As the image made its quiet entrance into the digital world, what followed was not chaos, but something far more intimate and telling. An eruption of collective memory, speculation, and hope. Across continents, across time zones, fans were not just reacting to a photo. They were decoding it, reading between the lines and building possibilities that stretched far beyond a single post. It wasn't about what was said, but what wasn't. And that silence held more power than any headline ever could. In the absence of clarity, people turned to what they knew. The history, the glances, the timing, the subtle gestures that once hinted at something more. Was this the long-awaited announcement of a drama reunion? Whispers began to circulate of a production quietly titled Better Before Goodbye. A rumored romance tinged with melancholy, depth, and the kind of storytelling that lingers in the soul. Some believe Yang and Dilraba have already been filming in secret. Their recent movements carefully staggered, their appearances coincidentally aligned. Others see this moment as a prelude to something cinematic, but not necessarily fictional. A high-concept fashion campaign, perhaps told through visual storytelling that blurs the line between character and self. Observers point to recent fashion choices, symbolic accessories, and overlapping brand affiliations, suggesting this could be the beginning of a visual project designed to stir emotion as much as style. And yet, the theory that captures the most hearts is the most delicate one. That this is somehow a quiet, poetic way of telling the world something personal. That the feelings on screen were not entirely pretend. That time has ripened something real, and now, instead of spectacle, they have chosen something more human. Suggestion over statement, emotion over confirmation. But perhaps the most remarkable part of all this isn't the mystery itself. It's the way this moment has become a shared global experience. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, Tokyo to Toronto, fans are not just watching, they're participating. They're lighting virtual candles, creating art, writing poetry, translating every nuance for strangers in different languages. This is what happens when storytelling transcends geography. This is what happens when people care. Not just about a couple, but about the feeling that love, in whatever form it takes, can quietly return when you least expect it. What continues to captivate audiences around the world is not just the announcement itself, but the subtle echoes that followed, quiet signals, overlooked moments, and threads waiting to be pulled. In the days since Yang and Dilraba's shared post, fans have begun uncovering small, almost imperceptible signs that suggest something larger has been building for quite some time. It's no longer simply a matter of what they posted, but what the world is beginning to see more clearly in its aftermath. There are whispers of a rehearsal schedule for an unnamed performance, where 2 leads were listed only by initials. Days before the announcement, both stars were seen near the same media studio, their arrivals separated by just a few hours. These small coincidences may seem unremarkable in isolation, but in the context of what followed, they feel intentional, like the final strokes of a story that's been slowly unfolding behind closed doors. More striking still is the emotional intelligence behind their silence. Rather than capitalize on immediate fanfare or commercial hype, Yang and Dilraba have allowed the moment to breathe. There was no rush to explain, no press release to dictate meaning. Instead, they've created a space for reflection, for fans to feel, to remember, and to imagine freely. That kind of restraint isn't accidental. It's artistic, and it speaks to a maturity in both stars that goes beyond performance. Perhaps what we are witnessing is not the beginning of a new project alone, but the evolution of how artists relate to their audiences. In a time where speed and noise dominate digital life, this quiet, deliberate approach feels almost radical. It suggests a deeper understanding of emotional storytelling, not as content to consume, but as experience to live through together. This may be why people across cultures and languages are responding so strongly. In Indonesia, fans organized a virtual lantern release. In Japan and South Korea, tribute videos are circulating, blending original drama scenes with new symbolic imagery. In Europe and North America, multilingual fan groups are translating every update, every theory, every moment with reverence and care. What's unfolding is more than a celebrity comeback. It is a shared moment of stillness in a noisy world. And in that stillness, something beautiful and human is taking shape, one quiet connection at a time. Whether it's a screen reunion, a stunning visual campaign, or something even more personal, one thing is clear. Yang and Dilraba have mastered the art of anticipation. They don't just drop news, they orchestrate moments. In a world full of distractions, clickbait, and fast trends, this felt meaningful. A reminder that some stories, no matter how long they rest, can rise again, richer, deeper, and more powerful than ever. Sparkles, so what do you think this announcement means? Drop your wildest theories, drama wishlists, and CP dreams in the comments below. If this story moved you, or even just made your heart flutter, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more updates from the world of YangDi and beyond. Speech Balloon, thank you for watching and sharing this moment with us. This is more than content, it's community. And this is just the beginning. Globe showing Europe Africa. See you in the next video, where fandom meets heart.